I hate that idea. I really do. I mean, there's no loyalty to programs. There's no loyalty to teammates. I mean, you see a guy that's transferred 3 or 4 times, or 2 times or whatever. You don't really trust that guy because he could be up and gone the next year. So, and that's just not a good idea about life. If you don't like something, you can just leave or quit. I mean, I don't. That's not how you go through life. You got to deal with people. You got to build relationships. You got to, understand why teams are the way teams are. It's because people have cared and put in time and have stayed loyal and have done anything for those guys on the teams, and that's what is truly. I'm pretty romantic about football and stuff like that, and that's taken that aspect out of that, about teams that have been through everything together like we have, and caring about each other so deeply that they'd rather do anything than let each other down. That's what football is. That's what college football is. Mm-hmm. Uh, like I said, with that college football landscape being a little different, those are new conversations to us as well. The best, it's hard for me because I've always had it about the love of Nebraska and wanting to stay. For them, if they're not from here, they don't fully understand it. It's hard to not convince them, but just display that onto them about how I feel, or how some of whoever's having that conversation with them feel. And you can't make a rash decision off of if you're a freshman and you're on scout team or whatever. That's just the process of that's just understanding the process as a player. You try to put your arms around them as much as you can and have that relationship with the players, or player that's going through that. Everybody goes through stuff like that, and you have to understand. You have to let them know they're not alone, and they can talk to you or anybody. Like I said, this coaching staff and these teammates, those honest conversations that happen, and a lot of nobody sees them, but we have them, and it's a weird time right now, but we're trying to get ahead of it and do our best. Put it on my shoulders to make him feel pressure. Defense played phenomenally, especially the back end. Those guys have some of the most talented wide receivers probably in the history of the game. That's a big task. I say that, but those guys, those mentalities don't care. They will care. They'll cover anybody, and I commend them for that. It wasn't that we changed anything or was anything different. We were, like you said, last year. I mean, we were in every game we played. We played phenomenal teams, and we played them to the end of the game. It was just the standard, the mindset we had every week. Getting that right hook to the face every Saturday, and keep coming back for more in practice, and keeping that standard, and how hard we practice. Coach Janander did wonders with us, trying to keep our minds straight and focus on what we needed to focus on. And Iowa State was a great team, and we played them really well. But but obviously can't keep saying that after years.
I guess if you have 30 seconds with their defense, what would you tell them?
With our defense?
Yeah, no, the Notre Dame kids, we're going to go play at Ohio State.
Oh.
They're probably watching you come to see ways that they can be effective, but what would you tell them?
Don't look at the players or the logo. Focus on what you need to do as a player. Have the confidence in with yourself. They put on pants just like you do. Yeah.
What makes Stroud the Iowa prospect that he is, having watched him play them, reviewed it, why is he viewed this way?
Sees the field really well. Obviously a very mobile, athletic quarterback, can make throws from anywhere. I remember I had pressured him off to the sideline, and he did a flip around throw and threw it like 40 yards and completed it, and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty good. It's the Big Ten. We have quarterbacks like that all the time, especially from Iowa State, from Justin Fields to this guy. So they do a great job. They have really athletic QBs, and he'll continue to grow and mature as an athlete and as a QB. So he'll be good for a long time. Yeah, thank you. Good or bad? Keep the world small. Keep the main thing. Big target, bullseye. Focus on that. And that's always, for me, I go back to why I even, love football. I started playing football is because I get to hang out with these guys and go win games and have a good time. And like I said, being pretty romantic about football and, dreaming or visualizing yourself, celebrating with those guys after really big games, and just having the stadium go crazy. That's what I think about. I don't, think about the pressure. I know it's there, and that makes me perform better, or truly hone into my details and care more than I've ever cared or tried harder than ever tried in my life. But keep the world small. Care about my family. Care about these guys. Be the best teammate I can be. Whether that be me making plays or putting my arm around a guy and making him laugh. It's about all I care about. Double-digit sacks. I saw somebody has to be the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. So why not me? Yeah. So I know the type of player that I am. So I want to go prove the rest of the world and also prove myself that I know who I am.
Garrett, Coach Frost said you're one of the best leaders Nebraska's had in a long time. What's that mean to hear that from him?
He's been around football for a long time, professionally and in college. I could pull out a chair and listen to him for hours about the stories and stuff that he had to tell about the days of the camaraderie he had in college and the brotherhood he had in college, and some of those. It's great to hear that I'm a great leader. That's great. That's awesome. I don't know why. I've had okay seasons, and I'm just not like I'm have had just stellar, just absolutely mind-boggling seasons. I obviously that's the goal, and I want to have that, and I know I can do that. But it's awesome to hear. I just, like I said, I'm romantic about football and about team. I love those guys to death. I'd do anything for them. I want those guys to succeed. I always think about 20 or 30 years down the road when they're old and we can't move and our knees don't work. Sitting around a table about the memories that we made here and how we changed our lives. Because those guys did that when they were here, and I could see the pride and just the overwhelming feeling of happiness that they have about the time that they had here, and I want to have that with those guys.
Do you get much of a chance to hear Coach Frost reminisce?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Is that just as part of practice or outside of it?
It'll come up if he can take a lesson or give us a lesson or an example about if something was done incorrectly or something funny or anything. They're pretty relatable in the sense of the stories that he tells about how his team did it, or I remember when he did that too, and tell us stories about that, and like I said, Quentin might not know it because he's from Georgia, or I know it because I'm from Nebraska, so guys tell it all the time because that's just how Nebraska people are. So dudes that don't know or don't understand that history of the team or the players, and they're hearing that, they're like, oh. So it was the same way, 30 years ago or whatever, and I do feel the same things that those guys did or see it, or it's pretty cool to hear those stories. He's a great guy. He really is. He would do anything for me. He would do anything for Travis, Quentin, guys, anybody on the team. Having his presence there and being closer to us shows, I knew that he's cared and has cared the same amount, but guys that I don't know not believe it or are new to the team or whatever, seeing him here and hanging out with him and telling stories and slapping each other or whatever, having fun. You want to play for a guy like that. And you want to play as hard as you can for him. So having guys see that, they finally kind of understand like, oh, he really does love me and care.
Big Ten this year with the depth of running back, the challenge to be good defense again. When you look at the depth of running back, the challenge that's going to have, what stands out to you across the conference?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had Big Ten teams have always had 1,000-yard really good running back, and we haven't had one of those in a while. Trying to define our identity on offense and what we wanted to run. Having a young defensive line and losing some guys on defense, all those expectations, all those things that people say that's great. We want that pressure and the expectations. I just want to prove people wrong. I just kind of want heads rolling on the field. I want dudes to play as hard and as fast as they can. That's about the only thing. Same thing. I really think we have a whole team of dudes that would rather die than disappoint each other. So we know that we want to change our lives. We know that we've been working towards this time. It's time.
Opening up in a good situation, but of course, it's a game. You got to win.
I don't care where we play. I just want to win. It's cool that we're going to Ireland, and it's cool that we're playing there. But the fun part about football and the fun part about going there is coming home when you're winning. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty blessed. I got to travel a lot. Been to Canada. And Alaska's not outside the United States, but it's pretty much another planet. Bahamas, Norway, stuff like that.
Questions for Garrett?
Coming over the walls on pass rush, so I always see the comments of people, and I know me personally and us as a position group can get more sacks and affect QB more, be in the backfield more. I put that on my shoulders, put that on us as a defensive line and front seven to do that. Yeah, of course, thank you.